What's up dudes, it's Wulzy, welcome back to Geometry Dash. Now, today we are going to be playing the most up-to-date version of Peaceful there possibly is. It's been finished off by Zylenox, a creator that is very well known for artistic levels. Personally, I think it's pretty fitting that Zylenox has finished this off for Small, because Small was having issues opening the level, building on the level without crashing, and overall Zylenox is just a perfect choice due to his perfected artistic style that is very popular in the community and gets a lot of traction. So as it goes at the moment, the first result that comes up when you type in the word Peaceful is Peaceful by Small and Zylenox, which shows just how big this level has become. And I think Zylenox and Small are two peas in a pod to sort of bring this level together, because they're both powerhouses on YouTube at the minute. Even my video, my thoughts on Peaceful by Small, has gained 2.5k views in such a short amount of time. So, due to issues recording the level due to frame drops, as you saw in the previous video about it, I'm going to use Nexus's video, so make sure you go and subscribe to Nexus. You probably all are already subscribed, because a lot of my subscribers have been gained from him uploading various levels by me. So at the beginning, there's quite a lot of details that mesh together a little bit too much in my opinion, such as these little spikes on the ground. They're quite similarly coloured to the structures, and there's not much differentiation between all of the different aspects. In my opinion, there should be more of a colour depth, because everything looks quite flat even though there's some clear shading in little pieces. So it looks like the sun is like on the same sort of level as the clouds, and the trees it just looks very flat altogether. It could have some more depth, so it looks like things are in the background, like you know when you see the levels that people make with like the parallax effect where the background is really far away. I think this could also be applied to this level. There's just too many bright colours that clash together and like ruin the depth that could be created in this sort of art level. Hi, it's me, editing Wulzy. So I've just had a thought while I was editing the video. I think the lack of a colour depth is supposed to emphasise the difference between good and evil, because obviously there's the lack of dark colours in the beginning, and the part at the end has a lot of dark colours and no light colours. So it kind of contrasts, so it makes a pretty good difference between the start and the end, and also makes the level more memorable because each part is more distinct. So I think Zylenox added some shakes to this part, and I'm not sure if that white glow was there before, but it makes it a lot more atmospheric because there's a lot more going on the screen at once. He's also added these eyes and the pig snout looking things. I know they're eyes, but they look like pig snouts in the background of this section. And the eyes look quite similar to the ones in Humphrey by Carmel. I don't know if it's just me that thinks that. So now we get to see what this part looks like without any lag due to the speed hacks that Nexus used to make this video. And as you can see, it looks pretty cool, and this is just absolutely ridiculous. It fits the theme perfectly, but it's really hard to tell what's going on. Now, this next part contrasts way too much to the previous part due to the fact that this has very little movement in the structures. The only movement overall is created by these big strips that are rotating in the background. Nothing else in the level moves. Although there is pulses to keep it alive, I feel like there could be some movement in the structures, because in this part everything is animated and everything is moving in the background, everything's constantly changing, and these blocks have like an animation made by toggle triggers or color triggers. I can't 100% remember, but it makes them swap around and move and stuff like that. You'll see if I play it in super slow motion that the structures are constantly changing, and it's not just one static sort of decoration. But in this part, all the decoration is very static. Now, I like that this transition is eased in by the shake triggers that gradually get less and less, and also the consistent 2 or 3 strength shake trigger that makes it look like everything's moving, but it's not really. A cool link from beginning to end is these eyes in the background that come back from one of the middle corrupted sections. So this is a consistent tie within the level that just keeps it linked together very nicely, keeps the theme going perfectly, along with these sort of trypophobia like holes, because as you can see in Small's original work, they were in the background here and also on these I don't know what they are. They're like strips of DNA that eat your flesh. I'm a big fan of this sort of overlay over the background. It breaks it up from it just being eyes, because as you can see at the earlier part of this section, when there's a lot of eyes on the screen at once, it kind of clashes with all of these because of the level of detail in the background. But when this big mouth sort of overlay comes in, it breaks it up. And I also like that it's moving up and down, so it's like got a separate movement to the shake trigger that's going on. This is like one of the only moving things in the level. It's not just like a typical black overlay, and it's also varied at this part. This sort of, I don't know what this is, it's like root. It's disgusting, and it fits with the level perfectly. And then he's finished it off in pretty much the exact same style of the beginning, which perfectly links the level together, beginning to end. It comes full circle from it being happy at the very beginning to happy at the end, alongside the starting text that says peaceful and the ending text that just says end, and the creepy bit at the end. So as you can see here, Eric Van Wilderman has had a very similar problem with the lag. He says on Twitter, "I'm trying to play Peaceful by Small, but when I get to the technical part, the game slows down to like 2 or 3 frames per second and is unplayable." When you look into the replies, you can see that Viper himself has stated that it's simply past the limit of Geometry Dash. No matter what PC you have, you can't get past that part of the level properly because of how the game works. You have to speed hack it to get a decent frame rate, which is what Nexus did. Juniper says in reply to this, "It runs better on my phone than it does on my PC, with similar specs to yours. I'm pretty sure it's got at least something to do with the optimization for mobile versus PC," which is a very cool and interesting point that will probably get expanded on in the future when people discover how the game works a little bit more once 2.2 comes out, as these guys are talking about right here. Okay guys, so I have done absolutely nothing in this video but give my opinion. All the credit goes to the people on Twitter, Eric Van Wilderman, Viper and Juniper, and also Nexus for providing the video. I didn't ask for permission, but hopefully it's okay. You might as well subscribe anyway, because I've got a lot of videos like this, my thoughts on sort of series, coming out very soon that you don't want to miss, with some very interesting levels that you'll want to hear about.